Welcome to the Power Designer Sibex Crystal River facility. At Power Designer Sibex, we understand the fast-paced material handling world, and we have roots in contract manufacturing. Reliable and maintainable equipment is critical to keeping up with daily demands. We want you to feel confident that your business success is our top concern. Let us show you around. Our purchasing team works around the clock to keep material flowing in. Every day, material arrives from domestic vendors and select worldwide. Our team verifies all material received to catch any vendor mishaps and nonconformances, preventing otherwise latent issues that could lead to a delay in manufacturing. Some material, such as PCBs, are automatically queued for a more detailed inspection. All our electronics stay in a climate-controlled environment, and we have plenty of room for our larger fabricated materials so we can always stay ready for increased demand. Our scheduling department is in direct contact with the sales team to know and plan for orders on the horizon. Work orders issued for assembly builds trigger our stockroom to kit, prep, and route the components to the appropriate work center for processing.
Any given product is comprised of various components that run across different work centers and many times multiple assembly levels to get to the final product. A work order will include all of the parts to be picked by us in the cage, plus information in a traveler document that also goes with the work order, so we know how to group the parts when they're picked and where they go on the floor at the correct time and when they need to be there. The traveler printout stays with the material kit. This keeps us organized and the kit is ready at the work center at the scheduled start time.
Most assemblies start at SM, or surface mount. This technology allows for increasingly dense PCB designs, shrinking in size and weight for all types of electronic devices. To get this process started, the kitted reels of components are loaded onto feeders, and each is inspected to verify components are loaded correctly.
Each feeder is inspected to verify the correct material is loaded for each lane in the placement machine. Once the program is launched and the feeder is installed, the machine basically runs itself. We prepare the next set of feeders so when the current batch is complete, we're set to make a quick changeover to the next program.
Solder in paste form is squeegeed onto the PCB with the use of a solder stencil. This stencil limits the paste to only the board locations containing SM pads. When ready, the placement machine calls the board to the next stage for processing. The components are pulled from the reels through air suction, moved over the PCB, rotated as needed, and lowered onto the board correctly positioned where it sticks to the solder paste applied from the previous step. At the start of each run, a single assembly is processed through component placement. First piece inspection validates all components are placed correctly. After validation, the board enters a reflow oven. Reflow refers to the change in solder state. When the solder heats up, it changes state to a liquid, and the solder joint is complete. When it cools, the solder returns to a solid and adheres freely to the component and PCB pads, creating a hard mechanical and electrical bond. After reflow, the assembly is validated again. A successful outcome allows the whole kit to be processed freely. A different outcome initiates a setup review and rerun. Our machines can place components at up to 21,000 per hour. Camera alignment assistants make sure even fine-pitched parts are accurately placed. From the PCB autoloader out through reflow, we maximize our machine throughput. Some components still rely on plated through-hole, or PTH. The component pins pass through the circuit board and are soldered from the back side. The benefit here is a strong mechanical and solid electrical connection for more demanding applications. While most components arrive with straight leads, some leads must be bent for insertion into the PCB. This PCB prepping stage shows component leads quickly bent into shape for easy board insertion. Our equipment can make quick work of one-sided PTH assemblies. This machine is referred to as the wave. It keeps solder above its melting temperature and jets it in an even stream, a constant, continual wave of liquid solder. Here we see our Revolution power modules being soldered. It is important the solder wave only skims the bottom of the panel. Too far away, and no or incomplete soldering will occur. Too close, and the whole board will be engulfed.
Our power modules put out high power at up to 100 volts, so it's critical these components are secure and can handle whatever environment chargers are installed in. We check for potential bridging and missing solder on each module at inspection. Some pads must be shielded from this process, so we mask them before they enter the wave. This prevents unwanted solder connections.
The leads are trimmed to make the solder side uniform. This will make inspection easier. When more detail is needed, our hand soldering crew can meet any challenge that comes their way. 3D printing allows us the ability to make rapid fixtures for a third hand and precision alignment. Installing our output diode heatsink assemblies onto our Revolution power board, we can verify perpendicularity for exact fit every time. Our flexible approach to manufacturing means we can meet your unique designs. Many assemblies need firmware flashed or programmed onto an IC before or after the IC is populated on the PCB. Our power module controllers are flashed with the appropriate firmware.
We make sure all our power modules perform as intended. We monitor the response and verify it to be within our tight performance tolerance. Each power module has its own controller that is in constant communication with the charger master controller and can react to any abnormality in an instant, preventing a system catastrophe.
Once successful, the controller returns to PTH, this time as a subassembly to be installed onto the power board. The firmware is controlled through our quality management software.
When new documents are created in-house or sent in from our customers, they are not released until approved by all department heads. We can control changes to bill of materials, work instructions, schematics, and hex files. Each is verified to be accurate before it hits production. After sign-offs, document distribution is tracked and managed throughout the entire manufacturing process. As assemblies are revised, we ensure the correct revision of documentation propagates throughout our systems.
If the circuit board assembly requires conformal coat for extra protection against environmental impacts, we mask the sensitive components before coating. These PCB assemblies will be sent to our Homosassa branch where they will be spray coated. When the PCB assemblies return and the coating has fully cured, the masking is removed, and they are inspected under an ultraviolet light.
After conformal coating using silicone, polyurethane, or acrylic, the inspection is very easy due to the UV tracer. This allows for easy identification of areas coated or uncoated, such as connectors, LEDs, or switches using a UV light.
Many products require custom wiring and housing. The Revolution charger utilizes AC, twisted pair, ribbon, ground, and DC harnesses that we pre-assemble from the basic components. Our crew can cut, strip, tin, twist, splice, and crimp to meet demand and IPC standards for quality harnesses. Potted assemblies are also within our capabilities. With the completed power module internals, we can now install its protective housing. The insulation is formed into position, the boards are fastened down with a calibrated torque driver, and fans connected. The fully built power modules undergo high pot, then are calibrated, followed by burn-in to find any underlying component defects. These steps allow us to have confidence our modules will meet our 5-year warranty.
We strive for 0 defects. The worst thing we could do is spend the time and money populating a board for a customer only to have the assembly fail in the customer's hands. We recognize this, so we take seriously any customer specifications and procedures to thoroughly test our assemblies. If we come across issues, we communicate closely with the customer to get it resolved. And for our material handling products, we continually monitor field issues so we can determine root cause and make the appropriate tweaks so the product becomes more and more reliable.
For our material handling products, this is where it all comes together. One feature of the Revolution Series charger is the flexible and configurable approach we take. With over 1,000 configurations available, our team of experts can pick the perfect option to fit your need. From 12 to 80 volt nominal, to over 30 kilowatts and 700 amps, wireless battery and gateway communication with cloud data storage and analysis, customizable reporting, external CAN communication with an ever-growing number of lithium battery manufacturers, we have a solution to fit your need. When an order is placed, a personalized build package is created and sent to production. This package allows quick final assembly of the customer's specific need. Mount the controller, cables routed, and add the output DC harness with customer selected battery connector. The power modules are installed and the system heads to its final stages. The customer profile is loaded and final calibration is set. One final test and inspection verifies all requirements have been met. Fasteners torqued, wiring in place, and all modules output full power. We prep them on pallets and meet up with the other products set for shipment. We hope you enjoyed your tour of our facility. Please visit our website and reach out to us for further details. We look forward to making your vision a reality.